Testing 1 2. Can everybody hear me out there? Testing 1 2. Can everybody hear me out there? Thank you, Chelsea. Just gonna let a couple of people see the notification and come on in. All right, I think we're about ready to start, y'all. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to the 9th installment of The Gray Area, exclusively on PPRN Radio, as well as the Live 365 app. This is your host for the evening, Aaron Kennard. And if you're with us right now, you heard me right. This is our 9th episode, and I believe our 7th Facebook simulcast, which has been going really well. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're also streaming live on YouTube and Twitch tonight as well. I'm very excited to be able to spend another evening with all of you fine people. It is currently about 8:15 p.m. here on the East Coast on a chilly November 2nd evening. We are in November. Halloween has indeed come and gone, and now we have turkey and cold weather to look forward to. Of course, with that being said, the climate is dropping. I say this all the time, and y'all just want to make sure that you dress for the occasion so you don't end up under the weather like I was a couple of weeks back. Now, regardless, I am confident that tonight's going to be a great night, and that's all because of you amazing fans that we have here on the broadcast. Y'all have been amazing these past couple of shows, showing your boys some love and chilling in the chat with me. I actually look forward to seeing and chatting with all of you on Tuesday nights, so I just want to thank you all for that. If you missed last week's episode, woo, I don't even know where to begin. I have my main man, Mr. Mike Grutola, who's also a DJ and a host from PPR on Radio. He was on to talk spooky with me. We discussed a few things from movies to scary haunted sites in the real world. Pretty soon after that, the man himself, Mr. Peter Pino, who's the creator of PPR on Radio, he hopped on and chilled with us for a little while. That was fun. It was definitely a party. And before you know it, we had 6 people on at the same time, including some random old man that had us laughing all night long. So if you are able to go back and check that out, that's actually on my Facebook page and should be on the Twitch as well. So go back and check out that episode. That was a very solid episode. Probably one of the best ones that we've had. And I'm definitely going to be replaying that episode in one of the coming weeks so we can all go back and check that out. Now, of course, those of you that are watching on Facebook Live, feel free to click the link in the description and call in to talk with us tonight. Um, let's see, how was everyone's Halloween weekend in the chat? What did everybody do? What did everybody dress as? I haven't dressed up for Halloween in a while, honestly. The last time I dressed up for Halloween, I dressed up as Luigi, and I actually took a picture with somebody that was dressed as Donald Trump. That was pretty interesting. uh what did I do this weekend? I performed at a private party at the infamous University Club in Manhattan. That was Saturday night to an amazing crowd. They were celebrating a 60th birthday, and I believe the person in question had a net worth of about $233 million. So that was pretty fun. Nice, lively crowd. Everybody was dancing, having a good time. Other than that, my car is still in the shop, so I pretty much spent the next day recharging and watching horror movies all day. Um, Chelsea says in the chat, no costume for me. Had some drinks, watched Rocky Horror, and enjoyed seeing all the little ones trick or treating. That's awesome. Sounds like a good day to me for sure. I do feel like Halloween is more kids oriented. Um, but it doesn't mean we can't have fun, our own kind of fun. Um, Only thing I'm dressing up for nowadays, if it's not like a Halloween party, it's probably Comic Con. No lie, I've been wanting to go for a long time. Maybe I'll go next year, but I have no. I'm so indecisive with a couple of things actually: food, drinks, and probably what I would want to be dressed up as. No idea. I couldn't tell you. Like, I'd want to be like either Homer Simpson, the Incredible Hulk. Um, I don't even know. Like, I'd dress up as a wrestler, something of the sort. Um, how you guys doing though? How you doing, Chelsea? How you doing, Amanda? Um, yeah. What horror movies did I watch? I watched I watched all the Paranormal Activities in order, except for the last two. I didn't see the new one called Next of Kin because I need to see Ghost Dimension, and I can't find Ghost Dimension for free anywhere. If anybody has any ideas where I can watch Ghost Dimension, Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension, um, for free, I'll gladly check that out. Somebody told me to check Tubi. Um, I haven't downloaded Tubi yet, but I heard Tubi's completely free, has tons of really good horror movies, and the only drawback is that there's ads. Have any of you tried Tubi before? Um, I have Amazon, um, which the Ghost Dimension is on, but they're asking for $3.99, which I might just buy the book. I might just I can't talk tonight. Oh my gosh, I might as well bite the bullet and order it. But I'm trying to see if I can find it free anywhere. So I'm gonna download Tubi later, and hopefully I can find it there. Um, I have Disney Plus. Obviously, there's no horror movies on that really, and then of course like Netflix, Hulu, like the standard stuff. Um, let's see. Amanda says, "Doing my boy's hair, cool." I remember you said you gave them a mohawk before. What kind of what kind of haircut you gonna give them tonight? Chelsea says never heard of it. Yeah, Tubi. I've never heard of it until my boy brought it up to me at the gym today. Um, so I'm gonna check that out. Yeah, out with the old and with the new. We're done with Halloween now, um, and we're getting ready for Turkey Day. Um, let's see. I know that these next few months are usually full of fun, family gatherings, big dinners, gifts, Christmas cards, etc. But one thing that not a lot of people are talking about um, is the potential rise of COVID and the flu again, potentially running rampant. Um, I'm hoping that everybody does what's necessary to stay safe within these next couple of months, because these next couple of months can uh, tell us a lot about how next year is going to go. Um, I'm not too crazy about the vaccination mandate that they're trying to come up with in most of these states, but it is very important that if we're going to be going out and you know chilling with their families, and you don't want to get somebody else sick that you care about and that you love. All right. You want to make sure that you're able to have good memories with each other for years to come, and contrary to what you do and don't believe, we're in very scary times right now, and you definitely want to make sure that you take care of yourself and that you take care of your loved ones as well. So please, I mean, do everything you can. I'm not saying get vaccinated, but honestly, if that's the best option, if you're going to Thanksgiving and you're going to be with your grandparents or your great grands, or like children or whatever, you got to do what it takes to make sure that everybody around you that you love, all of your loved ones, are safe as well. So just something to be very mindful of as we get into these holidays. you know we send a lot of Christmas cards and whatnot. Who knows? But just make sure to bundle up and make sure to take whatever precautions you can to ensure that everybody's safe and sound. I mean, turkey and stuffing is good, but you can have that at home as well. you know how's everybody in the chat? Who else is out there? I can't really see who's in the chat because I'm not on Facebook. I'm using Restream. Shout out to Restream, which allows me to stream on multiple platforms. So anybody that's in the chat right now, say what up. What's going on, guys? I only get to do this once a week, but I love doing it. Like, my week doesn't feel complete until doesn't even start to feel complete until I have a show. Until I have a gray area show. It's always nice to talk to people who you don't always see very often, and see how everybody's doing that you care about. Yeah. What's everybody up to tonight? I know, Amanda, you're doing your boy's hair. She said she's going to do a mohawk again with faded sides. That's a pretty popular look. I get that sometimes. uh, let's see what else is going on here. Mm, 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 mm. What was everybody's favorite costume they've ever worn? Going a little back to Halloween again. Like I said, like, I've never been like a huge Halloween fan. Growing up in South Carolina with my grandparents, we never really did Halloween or anything. We used to dress up in like towels and robes and stuff, and go to church, and they would call it Hallelujah night instead of Halloween night. And then like the little kids would be like, I'm dressed I'm dressed as Joshua. I'm dressed as Abraham. and we used to get like the fake beards, and we get like angel wings and stuff, or like we dress up as what we thought people looked like back in the day. It was cool because like they used to they like we didn't have to walk around to people's doors to get candy. We had tons of candy there, and it was safe because we were all indoors, and like it was chill. It's pretty cool. Um, Amanda says, Nate said you're the best. Oh, stop it, Nate. Thank you. I tell your son I appreciate that. But yeah, never really celebrated Halloween like that. You know, like I dressed up some years, but only if we were going to like Hallelujah night for church. Um, Now I did go to people's doors, door to door. Um, uh, Me and my friend Nolan, rest in peace. He's no longer with us. He was one of my best friends growing up. We used to play Ding Dong Ditch. I'm not sure if you Northerners know what Ding Dong Ditch is, but we used to always uh, ring someone's doorbell or knock on someone's doorbell, and then just run away. And then they would come to the door and answer the door, and nobody would be there. They'd be like, "Dag nabbit, you kids, I'll get you." Oh man, those really were the days. Those were the fun days. There was one time when I think it was me, and my friend Steven, Steven, and his little brother Jerry, and we used to play Ding Dong Ditch all the time down south. Um, it was funny because one time we had to hop a fence to get into the yard, and we knocked on a door and we ran. The person um was right by the door and they had their dog. They saw us running and they sicked their dog on us. Oh my gosh. I was so terrified because we're hearing the dog barking as we're running. We're hearing the dog barking as we're running, and we don't really know how big the dog is, but it sounds like a pretty meaty, hefty dog. So we're running, and of course, I clear the fence because I'm like super athletic. Jerry clears the fence just because he's like tall, big for nothing. And then Steven, Steven's the last one. He's shorter than all of us, so he has trouble getting over the gate. And the dog was like nipping at his legs as he was trying to get out, but he did eventually get out. You know, the dog wasn't even that big, but it sounded like it was a big like roo roo. You know, yeah. Oh man, had a lot of fun times growing up as a kid for sure. Um, I never like let's see, we never egged anybody's houses. Well, no, yeah, no, we never we were going to. Yeah, we were some bad kids. Nobody would have ever knew either. Um One time my friend Steven and I had went to like he handed me some eggs and was like, "Here, throw these against the house or whatever." And like we threw them against the house. I didn't know that they were like actual bird eggs. Like they were like a blue jay's eggs. I didn't even know what they were at first. He just told me to throw it, and so we were throwing the eggs, and then all of a sudden we get dive bombed, like we start getting attacked, and I didn't know what was going on. He's like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And we didn't have anywhere to run either because the door was locked and everything, and we were trying to like run around. And this bird was like coming down, attacking us and everything, pecking at us. And first time I've ever been attacked by first and only time I think I've ever been attacked by a bird. Um, and so we're running around or whatever, trying to figure out what to do. We going through the other side of the house, and I'm like, Steven, why did you take that bird's eggs? um, Fast forward to present day. Um, me and him are still in touch, here and there. Life does get in the way sometimes, but he's actually a uh, a legitimate entomologist. He studies insects. So he grew up doing what he loves, like dealing with like bugs and animals and stuff like that. Yeah. Amanda says Nate can hear you. Good. I want him to hear me. um, let's see what's going on, guys. Um, Does anybody have plans for Thanksgiving? Is anybody going to visit any family out of state? And if you are you vaccinated? Are you not? Are you going to be with other family members that aren't vaccinated? What's going on? The majority of my immediate family lives in uh, a majority of my immediate family lives in South Carolina. I'm not sure if we have any plans made yet to to hang out or to visit and have dinner together. But here's hoping. It's always nice to be with family. Sometimes people who have very demanding jobs, like I did over the past couple of years, might not be able to be with their families. Over Thanksgiving or Christmas, and I really feel for them because it's tough seeing people on all sorts of social media talking about how it's nice to be with their families and spend time and all of that when you're not able to. I think I'm going to make an episode over the next week or two, probably talking about how to cope with not being able to see family during the holidays, because that's a pretty big issue for a lot of people. I've gone through that a couple of times, and this year I might not even be able to see some family that I'm used to. Obviously, all of you that know me know that my mom is no longer with us as of this past April. So it's definitely going to be a tough month for me, not only because of Thanksgiving, but because my mom's birthday uh, is November 22nd, right before Thanksgiving. Um, so I'm still trying to deal with that. But if anybody out there goes through any sort of sadness or depression, anxiety, anything, and needs somebody to talk to that understands what you might be going through, just feel free to reach out, and I'll definitely be there for you. If nobody else is, I will be. Um, let's see, what does this say? Amanda says, or doesn't have anybody at all to go to. That's true. Some people, uh, thank you. I appreciate that, Amanda says, same for you. Um, even though there are people who may not be able to get to their families, contrary to that, there are some people who don't have family to go to. And that's a whole nother, story. But then again, it's kind of similar as well. Um, you know, family isn't always determined, and I spoke about this a couple of episodes back too. Family is not always determined by blood. Family is not always somebody who you are related to by blood. You can have friends that are like family for you as well, and it's very important during times like that to make sure that you are, I guess, rather in communication with the people that love you and that you love and care about. That's probably the most important thing during these holidays. You never want to feel alone. You know, and you never want to eat too much turkey or stuffing either. You want to make sure that you you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about holiday weight gain. How about that? Um, like oftentimes, we want to like pig out and like eat like 2 or 3 plates of like Thanksgiving food and whatever. And you know what? You only get to do it once a year. So there's really nothing wrong with that, honestly. But there are precautions that you can certainly take to avoid, I guess, disaster. um, for myself, actually, just yesterday, November 1st, on a Monday, probably the best time to start. I'm back on my grind as far as fitness and cleaner eating. I'm gonna try to do my best because one thing's for certain. I was doing very well, losing weight and getting back in shape. Um, Before my mom had passed away, I think from December to April, I had actually lost 86 pounds clean, no supplements, no nothing like that, just exercise 3 to 4 times a week, cleaner eating, not necessarily less eating, but cleaner eating. um and everything was looking good. And then when my mom passed away, it's like everything um went down the drain. Started drinking more, eating more, feeling more sorry for myself, being sad down in the dumps and whatnot. And loss in any sense of the word is not easy to deal with. Uh, it was a really hard time. It still is a very hard time, honestly. And it's a lot of emotions that you don't really know how to put into words, if that makes sense. But I say all of that to say that I gained almost all of that weight back after my mom had passed away. And it's rough because you start to feel defeated. You start to give up, and you feel like all of it was for nothing, you know? But this is a great time to try to get back on track as far as healthier habits. And you can have like 1 or 2 plates, or even like 3 plates, whatever, of food, during like holiday Thanksgiving, and not have to worry about that affecting you too much, as long as you start to follow healthier habits from the jump. um like I said, I started back being on my grind um yesterday. you know I'm hoping to go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. And even like 15 to 30 minutes of like cardio, or like strength training, anything like that, is good enough. As long as you're making changes and doing some physical activity, you can confidently um, have a day or two where you can eat more, like out of your comfort zone. Like you can eat, you can splurge once or twice out of the week. Like some healthier habits that you can do to prepare for a Thanksgiving or Christmas feast. You can drink more water. You know. Multivitamins help a lot as well. I take vegan, a vegan multivitamin. Um, I take the Ritual Men's vitamins. They're like regular multivitamins, but they also come with omega 3, and they come with vitamin B12, which a lot of multivitamins don't. Um, Simple things like doing like 20 minutes of cardio daily, or getting like a walk in or something like that, really goes a long way as well. Um, I'll repeat that. You don't need to limit yourself on a holiday if you're focusing on eating cleaner and being more physically active during the other days, like, hmm. Like, instead of having a mixed drink or a beer, even with like alcohol and stuff, um, you can settle for a glass of whiskey neat, or maybe even like a few shots, like even something like um, tequila, for example. Um, Tequila surprisingly has a couple of health benefits. Um, Give me 1 second. Okay. So back to what I was saying. Even something like tequila has a couple of health benefits to it. Um, Tequila can actually help you lose weight over time, as well as lower your blood pressure. So maybe instead of drinking like a beer or like a mixed drink, have a shot of tequila or something like that. Um, and if you have to mix, which you never have to, but like if you have to mix, um, lemonade, maybe like a light lemonade or like seltzer or natural fruit juices. Those are great alternatives as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do to avoid that holiday weight gain. Um, I know I'm going to be trying out a couple of these things, like my day one was yesterday. Anybody who wants to try to get on board with me as far as cleaner eating, healthier habits and whatnot, drinking more water, check in with me during the day. It's always great to be able to hold yourself accountable. People ask me sometimes, why do you post when you go to the gym? Why do you post what you do? And like, oh, like day one complete, all this stuff. It's because I need some sort of accountability. I need to be able to hold myself accountable when when there's nobody else to hold me accountable. There shouldn't have to be anybody else to hold me accountable, because I mean, if you can't do for yourself, how can you expect anybody else to do anything for you? You know? Who do we have in the chat? What's going on, guys? You guys have any plans for Thanksgiving? Gabrielle Glover says facts. Hi, Gabrielle. How are you? Yeah, it's a bit of a slow night, but I'm grateful for the people that we do have in the chat. Don't be shy. Speak up. Let's talk a little. um, yeah, so I'm currently on my day two. It's November 2. November 2. It's November 2nd. I swear I can't talk tonight. Oh my gosh. It's November 2nd. I'm on my second day of healthier habits, cleaner eating. Went back to the gym today. That was fun. And by fun, that means I'm probably going to be super sore in the morning. But I worked on chest and triceps, ran some cardio, and it felt good. Like I definitely need to get back on the cardio train for sure, because it's easy to if you don't use it, you lose it. It's one of those things. Gabrielle Glover says, "Great, yeah." I mean, it's funny because um, I don't really have any plans for the holidays, but um, this year, it's weird because usually I'm one of the types to um get depressed or like feel sad during the holidays, but I feel that. hmm, I feel optimistic in that I know that um, there's a saying in the Bible that goes, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I know that things may be rough right now, especially right now. With my car in the shop and everything, and all the uncertainty in the world, but it's not going to stay like that. Everybody is going through something right now. I just want you guys to know that it's only temporary and that things will get better. You know. Um, Trouble doesn't always last, and but you have to have faith. You have to believe that things will get better in the long term. I know that in my life, I have a lot of immediate stress. Not long term stress, not things that last for a very long time, but things that last for a short time that stress you out right then and there. That's what I go through a lot. Um, and Gabrielle says it's a test. That's right. That's right. Regardless of what you believe in, there's a saying in the Christian faith that says that, like, God gives his strongest soldiers. Uh, God gives his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers. You know, um, contrary to what we may think, even beyond our comprehension, if you will, um, everything truly does happen for a reason. Like you, like for example, okay. Not trying to get too personal or anything, but a couple of weeks ago, I got sideswiped in a hit and run. Wasn't able to get the person's information or anything. My car was hit really hard, and um, my car's been in the shop for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks now. It's gonna be fine. I'm fine. I'm not hurt or anything. But it sucks not being able to drive for a couple of weeks. But maybe um you know God or whoever allowed that accident to happen to prevent me from something worse. Maybe if I would have avoided that accident, then maybe I would have gotten into a worse accident that could have injured me or worse. So you have to think about it like that, because it not everything is as it seems. You might be like, Lord, why didn't I get this job? Like, why have I not found why have I not found the right woman? Why do you keep putting me through all of these things? But you might be being put through all these things because you have something better in store. So I guess the focal point of what I'm trying to say is, you never want to give up, because you never know what lies ahead. The only thing that's certain in this world, and I say this all the time, the only thing that's for certain is that nothing's for certain. And life is not, you can't win at life. Okay? You can't win at life. Life is a never-ending journey. Life is a never-ending journey. If you're ever content, if you're ever happy with where you are, you need to check yourself, because you should never be content with what you have. You should always want more. And honestly, that's human nature. You want to want more. You want to want more for yourself. You want to want more for your family. You want to want more for the people that you love and care about. I am not blessed with uh, any children or anything yet, but if I ever did have a child, like, I would totally want my kid to have it better than I did. Not saying that I had it bad, but I would want my kid to have everything that I couldn't have. I would want my kid to be well known. I would want my kid to be a role model for somebody else. Um, and I would do anything in my power to make sure that they get that. You know, another reason why you never want to give up is because you don't know who else may be relying on you. You don't know who may be looking at you and is counting on you and saying, okay, you know, Aaron does this, so I want to do this. Or, like, Chelsea does this, so I want to do this. Or Amanda does this, uh, so I want to do this. You never know who else may be looking. And what you do can greatly affect the life of somebody else. So that's always something you definitely want to be mindful of. You know. Sorry to get kind of deep there. uh, Gabrielle, what are you up to this evening? Amanda says you always have eyes watching you, even little eyes. Oh, that's true. Especially children. Oh man, children are so impressionable. They look at everything you do. Sometimes they won't even think twice. They'll like they hear you curse. They'll like if you say like, "Oh, damn it," they'll be like, "Damn it," without even thinking about it. um, it's always important, definitely, like, the children are going to be the ones that are running this world when we're long gone. So that's always something to think about as well. Amanda says, of course. Yeah, no, of course. No, definitely. Like it's always the bad things we do that the kids like to hold on to the most. Like it's so funny because they have like innocent spirits, and it's almost like they do that to make you feel bad about it. Almost as if they know it's something bad. Yeah. Man, I'm definitely gonna make so okay. There's gonna be a couple of other special episodes of the Gray Area coming up. I know last week's episode was pretty wild, with all the people coming on to talk, um and grandpa coming on and talking, and a couple of us had a few things to drink last week. It was pretty seriously. If you didn't watch last week's stream, you need to go right now. Go back in on my Facebook page. Those of you that are friends with me on Facebook or on Twitch, you got to go back and watch that episode. That episode was nearly 3 hours long, and that was definitely the best Gray Area episode we've had to date. Coming up, I do want to maybe have an episode that focuses more on the depression and anxiety side of the holidays, um, how to cope with issues like that. I think I'm going to dedicate an episode to that. Um, and then we got to have another food episode. We definitely got to have another food episode where we talk about all sorts of fixings and whatnot for Thanksgiving. What's everybody's favorite thing to eat during the holidays? Um, we might even have like an episode on alcohol, because there's a couple of really nice holiday drinks and concoctions that you can make for the holidays as well. Um, I know one of my favorites is Jack Daniels makes a holiday like apple cider blend. Like it's like a blend of whiskey and apple cider, and it's really good warm, like some honey and lemon. Yeah. So those are a couple of episodes that you can definitely expect coming up within the next couple of weeks. That should be good. um Gabrielle says, listening to you until Queen Sugar comes on. And then she said, I can't lie, I make it out the hospital on Friday. Great. Oh, I didn't even know that you were in the hospital. What are you in the hospital for? I'm glad that you're coming out on Friday. And I'll definitely keep you in my prayers. Um, to help ensure that you do get out by then. Hopefully sooner. Shoot, I know what it's like being in the hospital. Um, when I had COVID earlier this year, um, I didn't have to go to the hospital, but I went to the hospital sort of like as a precaution, just to make sure that I was going to be okay. Because if I had any sort of respiratory issues or anything, I didn't really have anybody that was able to take me to the hospital. So I took myself to the hospital when I had COVID before it got bad, and actually it never really got bad. My breathing was consistently at 94, 95%. um I was okay. Thank God, like it wasn't anything serious. But being in the hospital, man, that's nerve-wracking in itself. um the food is usually awful, though I will say I went to, not try to put anybody on blast either. I went to Stony Brook, and they had like chicken parmesan. That's hard to mess up. That wasn't so bad. That was pretty good actually. So I had some chicken parmesan. Um, Everything else was terrible though. I mean, like even the cereal in the container. Like, how do you mess that up? That comes from like outside of the hospital. But even that was kind of yeah. um. Oh, she says thanks. I'm home. Oh, you're saying that you came out of the hospital last week? Is that what you're saying? Okay, good, good. I'm glad you're out. Wow, what a way to spend Halloween weekend, you know. There were like tons of parties and whatever last week, so me being carless, for the time being, kind of sucked because I wasn't able to go out to any of those parties. Like, I mean, I have friends that were like, I'll pick you up, I'll pick you up. I was like, nah, it's not the same, you know. I just decided to stay home. But Thanksgiving Eve, did you guys know that Thanksgiving Eve is the biggest party night of the year? I never knew that. I'm sitting here like Thanksgiving Eve. What, like, aren't people away? Aren't people usually like traveling to like their families or whatever like on Thanksgiving Eve? I'm surprised that that's like the biggest party night. But I have a couple of musical events coming up this month. So of course, you guys know where you can go if you want to find out anything about that. My band Soul Purpose. If you want to check us out, we're available at Soul Purpose Long Island on all social media platforms. So you can find us there if you want to listen to our music or check out where we're going to be performing next. I also perform with Funkin' A. We're going to be playing at Blue Point Brewery Friday. Next Friday, we're going to be at Blue Point Brewery in Patchogue, New York. Let's see. I perform with the Latin experience La Clave Siete. We are going to be performing next Thursday at Butterfields, which is located in Hauppauge in Long Island. That should be fun. Then got a couple of private events as well. It's always times for like weddings, private functions, parties, and whatnot like that during the holidays. So I've got a lot to look forward to. You know, and that's pretty much that. I mean, I've been home. I've been home pretty much chilling since my car's been in the shop, but I've been owning my skills, playing my trombone, playing my piano, working on some new music. And one of the things I want to do for next year, I'm not going to let you guys know when. I'm not going to drop any hints or anything. Like, if I come out with it, I'm just going to come out with it. Um, your boy is probably going to start working on his first album. So that's gonna be huge. And I'm gonna give a shout out to my homeboy, my one of my best friends, and my personal bassist, Mr. Ed Nevin, for giving me the courage to want to start on such a monumental project. Um, we're talking on the way to the University Club gig that I played in the city this past weekend, and he was telling me like, I don't know why you haven't done an album yet, and I'm like, what you mean, bro? He's like, well, you're like the best trombone player I know, and even though you could sing since as long as I can remember you, your singing has gotten like tremendously better. And I was like, oh man, thank you. So like we're going through some ideas on what we might want to do for an album, and I got some ideas. I definitely want to start getting something under my belt with that. And who knows, maybe you guys will have something to listen to on the gray area, except besides other local artists. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that, but let me know. Let me know what kind of music you'd want to hear if I do something like that. Gabby says, "Do it. This is your time." Thank you, thank you. Um, it's never gonna be your time unless you make it your time. None of us are getting any younger, so sometimes you just gotta get up, get out, and get something, right? Yeah. Oh, jazz? Jazz is my first love as far as music goes. Definitely my best element. I'm not sure what I would choose. It would either be jazz, um, R&B, or just like experimental. I mean, like I'm really into the the like Afro house scene. I'm really into stuff like that. I could see myself being original and inventive, but like having like some R&B flavor in there. I do sing as well, so it wouldn't just be playing my horn, but I'd want to incorporate both. I got a lot to think about with something like that. So um, that's definitely one of the next things on my agenda. But just know that musically speaking, um, there's some big things in store. We're not going to talk about next year just yet, but just know that within the next year, there's going to be a lot of changes for the better. You know. But yeah, Gabby, of course, if I could put in some jazz, of course I'm gonna put in a little jazz or like maybe like a little jazz influence, because jazz is what brought about soul, R&B, even rock, like stuff like that, like originated from jazz music, and there's all sorts of different kinds of jazz out there. So if anybody says they're not a fan of jazz, they're a damn liar. There's Latin jazz, bebop, cool bop, swing, um, you know, everything under the sun. Yeah. All right, guys. What's going on? What's everybody up to right now? It is 9:06 right now. Let's see what we talked about today. We did a brief recap about last week's episode. Go watch it if you have not if you have not checked out last week's episode of The Gray Area. Please go watch that. So we did a brief recap of last week. We were talking about how everybody's Halloween went, what everybody did, and what everybody dressed up as. I know Amanda dressed up as Mrs. Incredible. We talked about how to, um, prevent COVID and the flu from running rampant. How can we keep ourselves safe? And we did touch on holiday weight gain and how to avoid it, as far as even like having a healthier approach during the holidays. Um, does anybody want to hop on with this healthier approach idea I have for November? Just give me till the end of November, and let's see what damage we can do as far as um, you know being healthier, eating cleaner, drinking more water, maybe investing in like a decent multivitamin, getting some cardio done, exercising more often. Like we can definitely make a change for the better, all of us. I know I will. I'm on my day 2 right now. Um, And there are a few days left to go. Quite a few. um, Gabby says no salt. Oh yeah, so like I barely ever use salt when I cook. I try to use well, garlic's my best friend. Um, if I do have to use salt, I use it only when necessary. Like if you have to um, season your rice or something of the like, maybe like if you're using like a little salt in your pasta noodles um, to keep it from sticking, or but for the most part, I like to use spices and dried veggies like thyme, garlic, oregano, and such like that. Yeah, definitely no salt. If possible, you know. As I said, like drinking, and this is again getting kind of personal. Drinking is something that like obviously I'm not like an alcoholic or like doing anything like in too much excess, but since my mom passed away, um drinking is something that I've kind of wanted to like back away from. I guess in excess. I haven't had anything to drink. Um, well, I'm lying. Okay, at the university club, I did have a couple of drinks, but I wasn't driving that night, and it was well into the evening. Um, Aside from that, I haven't really had anything in like the last 2 weeks or so. Um, and so it's not to the point where it has ever became a problem or anything, but I just want to. It's something that I want to nip in the bud before it ever did. So um, I'm not going. I'm not really going to be like drinking like beers or like mixed drinks or anything, because those are just like empty calories. But rather, maybe have like a glass of whiskey or something over ice or something like that, which is a healthy alternative, and that you're not having like anything else, I guess, to pack on calories with it. um like I said about tequila, yeah, exactly, Amanda. Like I said about tequila is a great alternative that can also promote weight loss as well as lower your blood pressure over time. Of course, that tequila, tequila is not tequila unless it has the agave nectar in it. So the agave nectar um, is what causes you to lower your blood pressure and promote the weight loss. Gabrielle says, "You ever thought about writing a book?" Oh man, I've how do I answer that? uh Professionally, no. I mean, I I'm very indecisive with some of the words that come out of my mouth. Sometimes like I don't know. I feel like if I was to ever write a book, it would take like years, which I guess most authors do take years to write a book. So who knows? I mean, I do have a lot to say. I'm not really sure what I would talk about in the book. For me, I've always done my art through people listening. So I'm not sure if things would be perceived out of my mind uh, in a similar fashion through a book. It's really something I haven't thought about doing before. It's funny because me and my good friend Paul, he's actually been on the show once or twice already. Me and my good friend Paul, when we were like really little, we used to like call each other on the phone and like come up with like story ideas when we were younger. And we would be talking about like, we used to watch like the, Harry Potters and like uh, Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that. And like we used to call each other all the time. And we used to talk about like story ideas that we had and whatever, and we used to like start them and we would never finish them. I guess because like the way I interpreted that, me and him always had me and him always had like a lot of creativity and a lot of things that we wanted to happen. Like we were both very ambitious in our stories, and we could never really finish them. Maybe you know what, I think I have a few of those stories still in a notebook. Maybe I'll bring them on like next episode, and I can show you guys what we came up with. You know, um, it's okay to be super creative and super ambitious, but a lot of times, you might be too ambitious for your own good, where you might not be able to finish an idea. Um, so sometimes it is good to go back in whatever context, like sometimes it is good to go back and just revisit older ideas, because you don't always have the same thought process that you once did, and you might be able to think of something to to help complete that idea or thought process that you had uh, previously. Does that make sense? But no, to answer your question, no, I've never thought about writing a book. Amanda says, I need some. I guess he's referring to the tequila. Yeah, you and me both. I could definitely use a shot. um, life can get you down, but just make sure that you don't get yourself down. Make sure that you don't get yourself down, because th- think of it like this, if everything that you've been through in life that tried to take you down has not successfully taken you down, and you're still alive right now, what can take you down? You know? My biggest weakness is oh man. My biggest weakness is family. And if my own family hasn't defeated me, uh nothing's gonna defeat me. You know? The only thing that's going to defeat me is when it's my time to leave this earth. Other than that, I don't plan on anything else taking me out. I don't plan on anything else bringing me down. And as long as we have a breath in our soul, we still have a chance to change things, to change the world, to make a difference in somebody's life. So I definitely encourage you all to be just a little bit kinder, to be a little bit more understanding, and to just be a little more, loving. Have you ever asked yourself what we can do to make the world a better place today? How can we make things better, not just for us but for everybody? Sometimes a little bit of kindness goes a long way. Like I've been watching a lot of TikTok. I know it's random. I've been watching a lot of TikTok, a lot of like Facebook reels and whatnot. And there are people out there. I mean, sure, they might just want clout. That might be the only reason they're doing it. But there's people out there just committing acts of kindness, like, giving somebody that you see on the street flowers can change their whole perspective of the day. You never know. That person may have just lost their job. That person may have just gotten into a fight with a loved one. And then here you are, you give them like a bouquet of flowers and tell them that they're appreciated. And that's enough to keep somebody's life going. Some people, something so simple can just push them over the edge and make them just not want to be here anymore. You have to be sensitive to people like that because um, I would imagine you'd want somebody to be sensitive to you if you felt like that. But a little act of kindness does go a long way, and with that. If you are still with us, it is currently 9:18 p.m. I do want to thank you all for sticking with me this far and spending the night with me. Um, as usual, if you like what you hear, we are on weekly Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. The shows have been getting better and better, and the shows will continue to get better. Um, Really quickly, also, if you have an idea of what you would like to hear next week, or if you would like to call in and be a part of the show, you can reach out to me on Instagram at Aaron Kennard Official, and we can definitely set something up. Um, Most importantly, I just want to thank you all for making the show possible. I never would have guessed that I would be on a talk show of sorts, just like talking with people and making any kind of difference. And of course for allowing me to spend time with you all. Um, you know, I'm gonna end it here, and always remember to stay positive, stay sexy, and have a good night, guys.